can be a great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. This is the first just what sold video here that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing it on this channel, Gem Shorts. If you guys are joining from my main channel, Gem Flipper, welcome. Gem Flipper, that's where you're going to see all of what I, how I got the items, how I acquire these items that I do sell. So with the other channel, you know, we're just, you know, kind of relaxed, kind of just chill. I'm not out and about, as you can see. I'm in the garage. Just finished doing some work, getting some items listed. And we'll look at some what sold. We'll do more what solds here. We'll do 6 what sold items, cool, unique items. Items that I hope, you know, you guys can find out there, and items that you may have passed up and not known that they could have been resold. And I'm here to show you that they can be resold. Many things can be resold. It just, you know, it depends on the price. So we'll discuss that as well. I'll bring news and stuff on this channel as well too. We'll talk a little bit about advertisements as well. Advertising on something I just learned not too long ago regarding offsite ads. Really quickly, if you're coming from my main channel, and I think I did talk about ads not too long ago and how I'm branching out to offsite ads. Did I say I was going to talk about that later? Oh well, we'll talk about it right now. Why not? This is just, you know, this channel's like, you might hear music in the background, but this channel's not monetized, and, you know, if it blows up, maybe I like to listen to music when I'm listening and stuff. If this thing blows up, there'll be no music in the background, I'll tell you that right now. But for right now, we're cool, and we'll play some music and chill here in the garage. I have, you know, whatever your drink of choice is. This is actually this is Jameson. I was gonna get all technical with everybody here, but I am a whiskey collector, whiskey drinker. But this is just a Jameson I have here. It's a really nice Irish whiskey. I mean, don't let anybody, you know, be like, oh, you need a Macallan, or, you know, they start throwing out these big names out there. All whiskey is generally good. There's some whiskey I don't like, but all whiskey is generally good, and this is just nice Jameson. I got these glasses too recently. Check that out. Just a little tulip style glass. Now, if you are familiar with whiskey drinking, whiskey tasting, and we'll get to talk about reselling here as well too, because these glasses are, yeah, do have some value. I found 6 of these. Now, typically you might see this style with a little stubby base here, and those are Glencairns. Now, you can't call this a Glencairn. Glencairn is actually a brand, so if I put this out there and say Glencairn, on eBay, I could get a Vero, or it could get taken down. Now, this is a Glencairn style. You can't even say that. I wouldn't say that. I would just say tulip style tasting whiskey glass. But if you look at the front, it's actually etched. That's actually what am I thinking of? A cognac. That's actually a cognac, a brandy. It's not. It's a higher end one. Which is why these glasses go for a little bit more. However, when it comes to brandy and stuff, I'm not used to this style of glass for tasting, or, you know, what they call a brandy sniffer. It's more of a wider base, wider bottom, because brandy is comes from wine, and typically when you pour, you know, you pour straight out of the bottle, but, you know, if you want to get fancy, you want to get it nice and aerated, you put it into a decanter, which usually has a wide base typically. So that way you get more oxygen on the wine. And so brandy typically, you know, it would have a wider base, but these kind of strange. This is more used for whiskey, but hey, use whatever you want, really. One of the reasons for the stem as well too is to prevent you actually. I mean, we're getting technical here about spirits. Trust me, this is not a spirits video or a whiskey video, but once you get me talking, you know, I can't stop. Or once I get myself talking, because I'm talking to myself through this camera, at this camera. You know, when you put your hands around it, you tend to warm it up. And anytime you warm or chill something, you kind of change the taste of the actual beverage. And so typically you would want to hold it from the stem or down here, so that way you don't affect the flavor, or what's the flavor that is meant, or what you're meant to taste from the distiller. Because there's a lot of blending and stuff that goes into this. So either way, enough talk about whiskey. Let's move on here. It's not a whiskey video, although I can go on and on about whiskey. Okay. Advertising really quick. Let's talk about advertising really quick, then we'll get into the what sold. So I have been using offsite ads as of late. I've always done the standard, just standard. It's called General now. They recently changed their advertising, made it a lot simpler. I definitely do like it. It's a general advertising. You just, when you're making the listing, you can just plug a percentage in there. You can choose whatever whatever you want to select. And that general advertising promoting percentage will get taken at the time of the sale. There is another one which I think I don't forget what they call it now, but it was called advanced promotion. You kind of get priority placement in the when someone's looking through the listings, they promoted pop up on top. I guess some way somehow those people that use the more advanced one can get up to the top more often, I guess. However, that one you pay by click, which I'm not really a huge fan of, because how many people accidentally click things that they don't even want to look at by accident? Then you get charged for that. It could, if someone clicks once and buys, and let's say you don't have the other standard promotion going on, all you pay is for the click. That's it. But if people are just clicking, you're getting charged each time, and that's not charged upon sale. That's charged each time someone clicks. So you got to think about it. It depends. You got to weigh your options here. I generally prefer just standard listing, set a percentage, and it sells. And once it sells, I pay whatever the promotion is. However, I have been doing offsite ads as of late to help generate more sales. That's my goal this year, is to double down on eBay and get more sales. It's going to cost me money, but I'm okay with that for more sales. And hopefully more sales means more money, more profit, basically. And sure enough, it definitely is showing some good results with the offsite ads. Last 30, I've been doing it for a couple months now. Last 31 days, it cost me, so running the offsite ads cost me $202 for the last month. I have been slowly increasing the daily limit, and I'm going to talk about that in a brief second. But so $202 is what I spent. I started at $5. I'm up to $9.50 right now. Is the daily limit I have set currently. Started out at $5 though, and I've slowly been bumping it up, just because I've been seeing some good results from it. Actually, been seeing some decent sales. How much in sales? How much? Not just how much in sales. Let's just say how much is going into the bank. How much are we making? And we're making after expenses. We cut all that out. Expenses. We cut out all that. We are $858 and some change. Okay, I can't really get all the numbers. So not bad. I mean, obviously, I would like it to be more, but hopefully, we're shooting here for the long term, and hopefully it translates to more in the long term. That's what we're hoping for. Offsite ads. One thing you need to be aware of, which I wasn't aware of until a few days ago. So you set your daily limit, how much you're willing to spend on ads per day. However, there is a monthly limit, which I did not know this. I thought you just set your daily limit, and that's what it'll get to that limit, and then once it hits that limit, it kind of stops, and then resets for the next day. No, you can go over that limit every day, basically. You can go over. I have $9.50 right now. You can go over that every single day, But what they're actually doing is, if you click the little there's a little like learn more box in the offsite ads, and it'll actually tell you your monthly limit. You take the what do you call it? What you set per day, and you multiply that times 30.4. I'm assuming because 30 days are usually in the month. I would say 31. I mean, because you never know. So I guess they just figured they probably just took the average. So 30. I didn't even think of that till right now. They probably just took the average, 30.4. Multiply that times your daily limit. That's your monthly limit. So you can exceed your daily limit, but then once you hit your monthly limit, those ads turn off. So you gotta be aware of that. You gotta be checking it. And that's one of the reasons why I've increased it recently. I had it set to 5. I started at 5, 6, 7. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to make the jump. eBay was recommending $12 a day for me, but I didn't want to jump straight to the recommended. I wanted to test it out. Test out the waters first. And so then I saw that it hit the limit. I'm like, wow. That's crazy. So I bumped it up to $9 and what did I say? 50 cents. Now we're at $9.50 right now. So I'm definitely willing to pay that amount if I see the results. And I am seeing the results. So that's pretty good. We're doing pretty good with that, and I definitely think it's definitely translating to a lot more sales, which is great. Would I like it to be more? Yes, definitely would be, but gotta grow. You don't grow. You don't take off to the moon right off the bat. We grow slowly here. That's the way to go. I believe I've mentioned this several times about how during about 4 years ago during the pandemic, a lot of people and their online businesses just took off. We saw that in companies as well too. Companies that provided telecommunications and all that, they just took off because why? Everybody was home. We all needed that immediately. So their sales took off. They started hiring. What happened when, everything started getting relaxed? Everybody started going back to work, or everybody started, not sitting in front of a computer all the time. Those sales went down for those companies. People weren't necessarily buying online every single people buy online every single day, but people weren't buying online as much as they used to anymore because they weren't just sitting at home doing nothing. People aren't sitting at home just watching TV, so they're like, hey, what do I need all these subscriptions for? So things are kind of falling back into where they probably should have been normally about 4 years ago, because growth and everything should be slow. It shouldn't just take off. If it takes off, something's amiss. Something is, not quite right if it does take off. Don't get me wrong. Some people, they could have all their ducks in a row and just skyrocket to, take their businesses and just take them to the moon already. But not typical. Okay, enough of that. Do you guys advertise for your business? Let me know how everything's doing with your reselling. Pretty sure everybody's probably going to watch this are resellers, I'm assuming. So let me know how reselling is going for you, what platforms you're on. Are you advertising? What advertising tools are you using on eBay? Primarily focus on eBay here because, that's the big dog in the room. I have sold on Whatnot, and I talked about on my other channel about firing up Amazon. However, it's proving a bit harder than anticipated. So I think the easier route, and potentially the better route, which will give me more control over my store and products, will be opening up a Shopify. So I am reopening a Shopify store, I should say, because we used to have a Shopify store, then I closed it down, and I'll have to open it back up. We'll relaunch it soon, and I'll be promoting primarily through social media. Okay, let's get on to the what solds. Some of these videos here on this channel may be longer, they may be shorter. We may just do what solds. We may sit and talk for a little bit. It'll go wherever. Okay. So first item I want to share with you guys. Oh, you know what? This is what I do, or used to do with my other videos on my other channel. I would pause it here so that way I know where to drop my pictures in. Hold on. All right, just kind of helps me with the editing, so it's not so not spending all night on this. Okay, but right off the bat here we have a Pokemon plush. I don't have to tell you. I don't think I have to tell you that Pokemon is popular, very popular, and it's been popular, and it will probably continue to be popular for years to come. So definitely be on the lookout for Pokemon things, items, but not everything is necessarily worth it. Okay, and generally when you're out and about at Goodwills, at flea markets, people know that Pokemon is popular, so they will charge up for it, and it, for the most part, won't be worth it. However, we did find this cool, unusual plush, and the plush is very difficult. When you're navigating plush at Goodwill, those aisles are completely stuffed, at least at my Goodwills, in my area. They are stuffed full of plush. So it's difficult sometimes to see in there and to see what you want. You know, I just don't really dive in. I need to really be invited in. I need to see something there that's going to be like, hey, you know, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll jump in there and see what's going on. And then everything comes cascading down because I pulled one, and then all of a sudden 50 of them fall. So that's the way it usually goes. Pokemon, no idea how to pronounce this one, but I saw it. It was an unusual character. And picked it up. It actually has wire or something in the wing, so you can actually pose it. Collectible, $30.13 what we sold it for. Other crazy plush I've sold before. Bread Monster from Team Fortress. It was actually a puppet plush. Sold for $250-ish, somewhere right around there. Definitely be on the lookout for that. World of Warcraft plush I've sold for hundreds of dollars, so definitely be on the lookout for. Unique gaming plush does really well, so other plush does too. It's just I found a lot of gaming stuff. You know, I'm here in San Jose, California, so we find a lot of that stuff. All right, next item here are some CDs, and $88.97 is what we sold them for. What are they? Well, first you're going to see in the title there, Time Life. Typically, when you see Time Life, you'll leave it behind. Time Life doesn't really do that well, and that is in books, and they do a lot of documentary books and stuff like that, movies. However, the CDs with music, not necessarily any music, like oldies, old rock, pop, all this stuff does incredibly well. And obviously the more the better. So the bigger collection, the better collection. And these ones have like all the hits from the different years. So, like one-hit wonders. That's what these pretty much are. So definitely be on the lookout for these Time Life ones. I've sold them before. The bigger the collection, the more it's going to go for. So if you enter a garage sale anywhere, flea market, and you see all these CDs, pick them up. These don't even have the regular cases. Well, I think one of them has a regular case, not all of them. And they still sold for almost $100. So pretty cool. And not only that, but they go media mail. So it's a cheaper service. I pass the shipping cost along to the buyer, so that's what they're paying. But it does help to have lower shipping costs when you're trying to sell items. No one wants to, pay a crazy amount for shipping. Along the lines of music or old formats, we have a Sony Walkman. I just recently picked this up, and this actually just came out in a video, probably the same day this video is coming out. And I said, I'm going to take a lot lower for this because it was not working after all. If it was working, $50, $60. It wasn't working, so it's going to go close to around $20. That's on average of what it sells for. Typically, when something's not working, I really don't have high hopes. I anticipate people, trying to get it for $5. And I would have been willing to sell it for $5 because it's not working, and I just want to get it out of here. But someone paid $16.20 plus shipping. So Sony Walkman, definitely be on the lookout. WM-2011 is the model number. But a lot of these vintage Sony Walkmans do incredibly well. When it comes to these old cassette players, definitely look out for the major brands, Sony, Panasonic. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but these ones do incredibly well. Also, tape voice recorders do incredibly well. Look out for those major brands, Sony, Olympus. Can't think of any others off the top of my head that I've sold, but definitely Walkman sold for parts, $16. I think I paid under $5, so we're probably in the profit on this, which is not bad for a broken item. Okay, another cool item. There's actually a salt and pepper, but it's not a shaker. It's just put in little bowls and has tiny little spoons. But what was really cool about this is not only does it just have a bird and it's kind of like a novelty type thing, it's cast iron, and cast iron does incredibly well. So the actual, where the little glass bowls sit into this, it's actually a cast iron piece. Look out for cast iron items. I sell them all the time. They always sell pretty quick. You gotta price them right. Don't pay too much. You really don't want to pay more than, depending on really what it is, how large it is. I would say under $5 for any nice cast iron things. I've sold cast iron sculptures. I've sold cast iron door stops, cast iron plaques, cast iron salt and pepper thing. So definitely be on the lookout for cast iron. It does incredibly well and gets a lot of attention on eBay. Actually, I get a lot of views on my cast iron stuff. I think that's the last cast iron actual piece thing that I have. So it was really cool, So definitely look out for this though. Not only that, but this was branded, so that adds to the the allure of the item, I guess. Okay. Next thing we got, San Francisco 49ers. I live right next to San Francisco, and they actually play in Santa Clara, the city of Santa Clara. But actually, I'm just looking. I misspelled someone's name there. This is a season ticket holder pass, so a little more unique, a little more exclusive. Season tickets for the 49ers are incredibly expensive, so they built a new stadium. Regular tickets are incredibly expensive. Excuse me. If you're doing regular tickets, you really need like key games. Obviously not. I mean, sometimes more than likely they're going to be used. If you find any, like old Super Bowl tickets that were not used, you probably have some good money there. This is a season ticket holder one ticket, so unique, a little bit more exclusive. It's incredibly rare, not really, but I threw in there some of the key players that that came from that season, that were rookies that season. So Nick Bosa and Debo Sam. It's Samuel, not Samuel with an M, not Samuel. Did I put a comma right after? What the heck was I? Put a period right after? I really need to pay attention and make sure my listings are, cleaned up. Even errors like that. I mean, it's not that it didn't. Obviously, it got sold for $14. I picked this up for I think 50 cents. So we're making some good money on it. It did get sold. Just those little errors. Make sure you're cleaning up your errors, double checking everything. And I just need to do a better job of that, so I don't have these little. I don't think it really deterred from it, but it didn't help it. So, I really don't know if it helped it or not, or if it didn't help it, or helped it. But nonetheless, it's finally sold. It's out of here. Just keep an eye on your listings and make sure they're correct, because sometimes an item could just be sitting there and you don't have a good title in there. You don't have a correct title. Your title's misspelled. You have a bad picture or something. Always double check your listings when you're getting them listed. My glasses keep sliding off because it's kind of warm these last couple days here, so a little sweaty here. And the last item, and I tell people to pick these up all the time, whenever it pops into my mind, or whenever I get a sale. Matches. Look out for vintage matches. I sell them all the time. Here's something that's really unique. So Sandy Lane Hotel, not familiar with it. Barbados, which I am familiar with. West Indies matches. I'm not sure if they sold because they're from Barbados, or if they sold because of the hotel. I'm not really familiar with the hotel. Like I said, I don't know if it's a famous hotel or not, but I have 3 of these, and I got these in a massive matchbook lot. I've already made my money back on that matchbook lot. I got it in a big lot of other items as well too. I already sold a single matchbook, which I'm trying to remember where it was from. It's escaping me right now. But I already sold 1 matchbook for $10. Now here's 3 matchbooks for $10. And then I have a Margaritaville one as well too. And that should I think it's from Beverly Hills. I'm not sure exactly. I know there was one pack of matches from Beverly Hills as well too. That goes for $10. And then the ones that are just miscellaneous, like hotel ones. Talking too much here. The ones that are just miscellaneous from hotel, I group them all together and I sell them like that. Hotel, restaurant, I'll group them together and sell them off. Sometimes I just do one big lot and I sell them off. A really cool one that I did sell. Okay, we're done with the what's that. 6 what solds that we're doing. One cool matchbook that I really sold. And I thought about keeping it, but I'm like, what am I gonna do with it, right? It was from a restaurant in New York. So you're thinking restaurant in New York? What kind of restaurant? There are some pretty famous restaurants, but what actually got it sold was the fact that it was from Amityville, New York. And if you guys know any of your history or watch movies, or it was a game, wasn't it? It was a game as well too. Was it a game? Yeah, it was a game. Let me see. God, I can't remember. Film. Amityville. Game. Amityville. Well, there was a game on the computer on Windows. However, nonetheless, if anybody's familiar with the Amityville horror, so, if you guys are into horror, the other side, ghosts, spirits, all that stuff, you will be familiar with Amityville. Probably the site of one of the most famous events in American history. There's actually a house that we drive past pretty often going to a Goodwill that reminds us of the Amityville horror. So we're like, there's the Amityville house right there. So that was kind of cool. Definitely look out for these things. These little things will help give an item its... I always talk about subject matter. Sometimes an item can be, something like... I'm trying to think of something I have lying right next to me right here, but I can't think of it right now. Subject matter. So subject matter really means a lot when it comes to selling an item. I sold many items where it's just a generic like t-shirt or something like that, but it has a logo on it like NVIDIA. I'm thinking of that right now because I just sold an NVIDIA t-shirt and I've sold an NVIDIA sweatshirt recently. It says NVIDIA, but it's just a generic like employee shirt. Or Apple. Apple's another one. I sell Apple shirts all the time. They're just generic employee Apple shirts, but the fact that it's an Apple, it's branded with Apple, it sells. So make sure you're paying attention to the subject matter. That matchbook, if it was just a random restaurant, didn't have the address on it, it probably wouldn't have sold. I would have chucked it in with the rest of the restaurant matches. But because it said Amityville on it, I immediately put it on there. I put the restaurant, I put vintage matchbook, Amityville horror, and it sold. It sold for, I think, $25-ish or so, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it sold, and it sold well. All right. This is going to be a lot of a big talking video. Talking head video, that is. Or all these videos will be talking head videos. Some will be long, some won't be long. But let me know what you guys think of the what I sold, and let me know what you guys sold. If you guys sold anything cool, unique like that, let me know comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll link my other channel down below as well too, so that way you guys can see that one as well. You can watch both. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Hit the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe, bell notification, and comment down below. Thank you guys for watching.